Hi, John Heaney for the Job Shopper. It's a near certainty that job seekers today will encounter the dreaded telephone interview at some point during their job search. But knowing what to expect and how to prepare for the telephone interview can provide job seekers with an enormous advantage, because far too many candidates stumble upon common mistakes that knock them out of consideration before they ever get a chance to even demonstrate their skills. If you're preparing for a telephone interview, first check out our posts on the 7 tips to ace your telephone interview on thejobshopper.com. Then avoid these common mistakes. Number 1, you simply don't understand the purpose of the telephone interview. Look, the telephone interview is not intended to get the job for you. It's intended to weed out candidates from the pool that the company is considering hiring. You're not going to win the job with a great performance, but you can lose a job with a poor performance. So your goal is simply avoid being eliminated from competition and consideration. So knowing this, you should provide just enough information in your responses to whet their appetite and want to learn more about you and how you can contribute to their organization. Number 2, you talk too much. Recognizing the purpose of the telephone interview is to remain in consideration and to secure a face-to-face interview, you can only hurt your chances for consideration if you drone on too long with just long-winded answers. You face 2 risks with these long drawn-out answers. First, you might say something that raises a red flag with the interviewer. The more you talk, the greater the potential that you'll say something they don't agree with or that makes them concerned. So your answer should be brief and to the point, not long and drawn out. Moreover, the longer you talk, the greater the chance the interviewer will become bored and distracted while you drone on and on about the details of last year's ERP installation in Milwaukee. Look, if they become bored, there are plenty of distractions on their desktop that they can shift their attention to. They can check their email, they can look at their Facebook status, but they're not focusing on you. So keep your answer short and on point and keep the conversation constantly moving forward. Number 3, you don't listen. Too many job seekers mistakenly think the job interview is all about them. Fact is, it's not about you. It's all about the hiring company and what they need. You are secondary. Your interviewer will often provide a lot of details about the job, its requirements, their specific needs, the qualifications they're looking for, but too many candidates are so focused on what they're going to say next, they just gloss over entirely the details and insight the interviewer just gave you. So listen carefully. If it's a new position, find out what their expectations are. If it's a replacement position, find out what went wrong with the previous employee. If they tell you the last person who had the job didn't know how to motivate and lead his staff, boom, there's an opportunity. It's an opening for you to interject a story about your managerial skills that can set you apart, make you memorable and distinctive. Number 4, you don't have any prepared responses. There's simply no excuse for any job candidate to be caught unprepared for the most common interview questions. Tell me about yourself. Why should I hire you? What's your greatest weakness? Questions like these are likely to be asked in every interview, and you should be ready with a 45 to 60-second response to each of the most common questions. If you're prepared with short, concise answers, you won't make the mistake of droning on and boring the interviewer, and you'll appear alert and in command. Number 5, you have a lousy mobile phone connection. Never conduct an interview on a mobile phone. Too many interviews have been ruined by dropped calls, bad connections, static. Eliminate these technical problems entirely by getting a landline for your call. Number 6, you just don't display enough energy. You're already at a disadvantage in a phone interview since the interviewer can't see you to read your body language and gauge your excitement and energy level. So the only thing that conveys your energy is the tone of your voice. So you've got to take steps to energize yourself so your voice reflects your energy level. Stand up while you're on the phone. If you can, put a headset on so you can move around the room freely. By allowing yourself to move while you're on the phone, you become physically animated, which alters and energizes your verbal presentation and makes you more interesting and energetic. Number 7, you simply don't communicate interest. This isn't the time to play hard to get. The objective of the telephone interview is to get a face-to-face interview, so you've got one chance to let them know you're interested. And the best way to show interest? Ask questions. Let them know you've researched their company, their products, their services. Ask them about their plans for their organization, where they're going, how they're going to grow, how they see you contributing. Become involved in a conversation. Don't just sit back like a passive participant, just waiting for them to ask the next question. And finally, number 8, you don't ask for the next step. Look, if you want to meet your interviewers personally and explore the job further, ask them. It's that simple. As the interview winds down, tell them you're interested in exploring the position further and ask them, what's the next step? Too many candidates hang up without having any idea where they stand or where they're going to hear something or who else they should meet. Don't let this opportunity go to waste. Be assertive. Try to get a commitment from their end concerning when you're going to hear from them and an outline of future steps. And if you ace the telephone interview, you'll get the face-to-face interview where you get a chance to really dazzle them.